President Joe Biden is a lame duck president. Ukraine hopes that duck can fly them a lot of weapons before it's time to leave the coop. Earlier this year, after months of negotiations, the U.S. Congress approved a $60 billion aid package for Ukraine. But most of that money actually went to U.S. companies to replace what was already sent. To date, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy says only about 10% of that promised aid actually made it to Ukraine. Not exactly what you want when you're trying to win a war.
You do your job, you count on reserves, you count on special brigades, you count on such equipment, and if you got 10% from all the package, been even voted already, it's not funny.
Overpromising and under-delivering isn't just a pattern in U.S. aid. The Europeans do it too.
With the European Union, if you remember, a year ago, they promised 1 million of the 155. De facto, by the end of the year, when they promised, they could deliver only 300,000.
Hannah Celeste is a senior fellow for the Center for European Policy Analysis. She's an expert in transatlantic defense and security.
It is very difficult to plan your operation when you don't understand your resources and capabilities. So will you have the 1 to 10 superiority of Russians in ammunition, or 1 to 2 or 1 to 1? The same with the air defense. If you have only one Patriot system, you're protecting Kyiv, and you're more careful with some operations on the south. But if you understand that you can cover your critical infrastructure, you can take those forces, for example, the mobile brigades, from the south and move them to the front line.
After he called to congratulate President-elect Trump on his win, President Biden got to work figuring out how his administration could rush the last of all approved aid, around $9 billion, to Ukraine by the end of the year. Because come January, it's likely the second Trump administration could begin scaling back or cut off altogether the flow of weapons and aid to Kyiv, at least based on the campaign's rhetoric. President Trump did say he could end the war in a day if elected.
Ukrainians are the first one who would like this war to finish in 24 hours. Unfortunately, as for now, that is possible only under two conditions. Either Ukraine totally surrender and stop existing as the nation and as a country, or Russia just decide to stop this illegal invasion and leave Ukraine. All the other variants, unfortunately, do not envisage 24 hours.
Assuming the war does not end in a day, Celeste says Trump's unpredictable nature could be a positive when dealing with a despot like Putin.
I really would like to see when this first call with Mr. Putin would happen and what would be the mood after this. Because we have two scenarios. Either he would really trust Mr. Putin and his KGB promises and would be under the, imagine that he really can push Ukraine just to stop fighting for our existence. Or Mr. Putin will act as usually as KGB guy who like to offend his vis-a-vis. And knowing the hot temperature of Mr. Trump, how personally he's taking such things, that he can decide, no, this guy is not that I would like to trust. I need quick success. To give quick success, I need Ukrainian victory or at least some significant changes at the battlefields. Because if you look around the world, it's only Russian-Ukrainian war that you really can have quick success at the battlefield if you play correctly. Middle East, definitely not. We understand the complexity of the situation. China, Taiwan, definitely the US is not ready for this battle. So we are the only one where he can demonstrate that he is stronger than President Biden.
If President Trump stops U.S. weapons and aid to Ukraine, Celeste says right now there is not enough support coming from Europe to keep Kyiv in the fight. The amount of artillery France produces in a month is what Kyiv uses every day against Russia. There are companies building weapons factories in Ukraine, and many are increasing their production capacity, but that takes time to get up and running, and time is not on Ukraine's side. For Straight Arrow News, I'm Ryan Robertson. If you want more unbiased, straight fact reporting like this, be sure to check out the Straight Arrow News app today or log on to san.com.